they weren't seeing any of that. They were like, "How's this guy doing this on console?" They actually thought I was like cheating at first, and that's kind of how I got my name out there. To be honest, was because they thought I was cheating on console PUBG.
Did you I know there was different rounds and stuff for that. I didn't really pay much attention back in the day, but did you get far in that?
Honestly, I don't think I made it past the first.
That's all right. Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Unfiltered Conversations with Creators. My name is Minges and today I am pleased to say we are joined by the one and only Braalik. For those of you who know the beast of Warzone, chances are you already know that he is not only one of the best in the competitive scene, consistently winning and placing high in a number of tournaments, he's also one of the most humble and genuine people around. From his humble beginnings to the highs and lows of competing at the highest level, Braalik has built his name and reputation for extreme talent in a number of games, particularly PUBG and Call of Duty. We cover all of this today in the podcast with Braalik, as well as bonus questions and comment reactions from the beast himself, as well as our previous guests, which you can find over on the Patreon page. Becoming a member of the Patreon helps support the podcast to bring you the best conversations with creators possible, and I want to thank all of you who have supported thus far. Also, a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's podcast, Controller Mods AU. With a focus on esports and serious gamers, they are the brand I recommend for your custom controller needs. Even as a somewhat casual gamer myself, Controller Mods AU controllers have stood up the best out of all the brands that I've tried before. There's so many features that you can add to your controller that will improve you as a gamer, like custom designs, modifications, color schemes, Hall effect sticks, and my favorite, digital triggers. They also look extremely cool. The team at Controller Mods AU have over 10 years experience, are extremely passionate, and for me, genuinely nice people to deal with. They also ship internationally and offer a 12-month warranty with a commitment to quality and durability. So to level up, don't forget to use discount code UNFILTERED at checkout for your next Controller Mods AU controller. If you enjoyed the conversation today, please leave a like, comment down below who you'd like to see on Unfiltered next, and subscribe for more conversations with creators. All right, so today on the Unfiltered podcast, we're lucky enough to speak to Braalik. Not only are we lucky enough to speak to him, but we also have full cam. We don't see a full cam Braalik very often, so I'm very, very blessed. So Braalik, welcome to the Unfiltered podcast.
Thank you, Minges. It's great to be here. Thank you.
All right, so we start all these podcasts with like a food-related question. We'll sort of tie it in with everything, but let's set the scene. You're having pizza for dinner. There's a bit left over. It's really, really good. Do you eat it the next day?
Yes.
Yes? Because some people, they don't want to eat, leftover food.
Yeah, leftovers, yeah. Nah, I'm not really picky, man. If I'm hungry, I'll eat it.
Yeah, and like, are you reheating that thing? Like, you having it just straight out of the fridge?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be hot. Yeah, I'll definitely warm it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I can't do the microwave. It's like it gets sad and soggy and stuff. Really? But like, air fryer, goated. It brings it back to life, and it's sort of like even makes it better sometimes than it was before.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't go wrong. But I just wanted to bring that up because, much like the reheated pizza and having things from scratch and making them better, you've had to start from scratch again a few times, particularly coming from Mixer and starting again and building yourself back up again. So I can't wait to hear all about that. But let's go back to the start, and we'll start with what were you into growing up as a kid? Like, I know you were a gamer from like very early on, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I played video games my whole life, man. Since I was like 2 years old, I was, playing Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever my dad had me on. It was pretty cool because my dad had this buddy. His name was Dave, and he had like 5 PC setups, like the older PCs.
Oh wow!
Like back in the back in like the 1990s to like early or 2005, like the older PCs, with like the big Windows symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh man, he would take us, or me and my dad would go to Dave's house and we would just game like all day, all night, till late night. It was just me and my dad. Yeah, we would just play video games. He would put me on the keyboard and mouse, which is funny because I play controller, to this day, but apparently when I was younger, I used to play on the mouse and keys, so it's just pretty cool. But
Do you remember what you played?
Yeah, we did a lot of we played Diablo to start out, right? Like some Diablo, like the very first Diablo. I remember playing that, and then like the early Battlefield games. Um, and I think a little bit of Call of Duty too. But I played Call of Duty, and first games were Call of Duty, Halo, stuff like that with my cousins and friends and stuff like that. So just people hated me because I'd be all my cousins and friends, and they were just like, "Yo, like, why are you so good?" And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm just playing the game like you guys.
Apparently, there's a story about your dad's friend getting pretty upset that he would get beaten all the time.
Yeah. That was actually Dave. Yeah. So
that was Dave.
Yeah. One night he got pretty mad, and he told us to just leave early, in the most friendliest way. Yeah, he told my dad, like, hey, can you guys you could tell like it was because I beat him, because he was like, I think I was like 5, right? And I beat him at like it must have been I think it was like we were doing split screen like Call of Duty, like one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And he wanted to see like how good I was, and yeah, I was 5 years old, man, just killing him, and you could tell right after the game I beat him, and he told my dad, like, hey, I'm gonna be going to bed a little early tonight. You guys can head back now if you want.
Bro, wow. Yeah, I remember the split screen days were weird too, because like you're like, stop looking at my screen, you can see where I'm looking. And that was like half the challenge was like trying to juke people out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's hilarious. So I mean, you were gaming with your dad from a young age. You had obviously a few brothers and siblings as well, and sisters. And so did you guys all game together, or was like you and your dad?
Yeah. I'm actually, very close to my 2 sisters today. Some people know Millie, Lindsay. We were actually playing zombies just now with my, with my little brother too. But yeah, we all grew up playing video games, man. The whole family games, like my mom, my father. My mom plays like more of like the Zelda games and stuff, like those adventure games. She really likes Splinter Cell. My father as well, he did like those adventure games too. I think I get my interest for like single player games, or story mode games from mom for sure. But I just love video games in general. But yeah, the whole family played. Growing up, we only had one console, so we would all, there'd be some pretty crazy fights, sibling fights with being strict on like, yeah, your time's up, it's my turn to play, stuff like that. So
I was going to say, how did that go? Because like, I mean, I grew up with my sister playing, and like she was like wasn't into it as much as I was, so I could take over pretty much most of the time. But like, you guys probably, I'm guessing you're fighting for
brutal, yeah, like we'd say like, okay, you get an hour, you get an hour and a half, or you get 2 hours. Man, if 1 minute passed over your time, I mean, let me tell you, like it would. We'd be getting yelled at from our dad, because he's like, yo, why are you guys fighting? I'm gonna take the game away if you guys keep fighting over the game. So
I was gonna say, and then dad comes home and it's like his turn and he's gonna take over.
it was definitely hard to play, because everybody just wanted to play. We all love video games.
So did you had like a old school console or something like that? You have the Nintendo or something?
Oh yeah. We started playing on the Dreamcast.
Oh, the Dreamcast.
It was like Dreamcast. And the Nintendo 64s. The whole like a lot of our family had Nintendo 64s, so that was kind of like the main consoles. But yeah, Dreamcast all the way to PlayStation 1. The 1 and 2. GameCube. We love Nintendo. GameCube. We had a GameCube system. From I think we were mainly GameCube, and then we went to Xbox. So,
was it only gaming, or were you into like sports and other stuff as a kid, or like?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. It wasn't just gaming. Yeah, I was. If I wasn't gaming, I was outside all day. Just playing tag or hide and seek with the buddies. It was like the apartment, neighbors. So which are some of my best friends I grew up with. I met from the apartment, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, it wasn't just gaming. I was actually very active guy, man. I love playing outside. I love being active. Love playing tag. Love playing just running or just exerting stamina. I loved it, man. It wasn't just gaming.
No, I mean, because I'm guessing you. I mean, I've seen some pictures of Braalik in his prime, and you are very athletically gifted. You do have a. I mean, I'm saving up the channel point redemption on your stream for like it was 150 million points to do a backflip on stream because you can do backflips, right?
Yes. I don't know if I can in this shape. I feel like I still could. I've done a lot to where it's like, I was doing it on concrete ground, and just very confident, but not in the best shape I was, I was, but I definitely, it's definitely motivation though to, get back to that and start doing backflips. I still would though.
I want to see one of those one day, man. I'm saving it.
I can still hop, man. I can still get up. I've been hopping in my living room, I can still hop.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you get from gaming like with family, friends and doing everything as a kid to getting to the streaming world? Because I know that you did start on Mixer like back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back when Mixer was like, kind of in its prime at I believe like 2018, 2019, 2020, or Mixer shut down maybe like 2021, 2020, around there. Can't really remember, but.
Did you start on that?
Yeah, so I did start on Mixer, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I started streaming on Mixer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around 2018. But it was I played PUBG console, and honestly, what got me into streaming was it was back when I was working at I worked at a dealership, Chevy dealership, car auto store, and it was with my high school buddies, and my high school buddy, he actually showed me like a YouTube video on our lunch, and he's like, hey, these guys stream, and they play video games for a living, and just stream their talents, and I was like, huh? I was like, they do that stuff? Like, I didn't even know Twitch was a thing, or like even Mixer was a thing. But he actually was watching a guy on Mixer play some games, and I was like, bro, I love the game. Like, I feel like I could, I feel like I could just stream and give that a shot. That gave me the idea, and I was like, I feel like I'm pretty good at video games, so maybe I'll showcase my talents and go from there. And Mixer was the perfect place because the thing about Mixer was like, it was just, I don't know, the Mixer community was very, very welcoming, very, very, very friendly. Obviously Twitch is like that too, and other streaming platforms, but it was very motivational, like to start on Mixer, just because all the people that came in, like, no matter how long it took, like, to get my name out there, like, it was like they all were just like very very motivational, saying like, wow, you're really good and stuff like that. I learned a lot. Mixer was very, obviously very nerve-wracking starting out, and just starting out slow, and obviously like just doing it as a hobby at the time, but it definitely grounded me into what I am today.
So were you streaming like right off the console, or did you have a webcam and all that going on a PC? Like, what was the first setup like?
Yeah, the first setup, it was. I started streaming off on the ground, crisscross applesauce. With the little 480p monitor.
Wow.
And and my Xbox was on the ground, and I was just sitting on the ground, man. And I was streaming off a laptop that somebody actually got me from the stream. His name is Reckless. I'll never forget it, man. Very grateful for him. But I started streaming off the ground, crisscross applesauce. I used my phone for hotspot, which is crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, wow. we didn't have Wi-Fi. It's definitely during a tough time, in my life. Because when I actually started streaming on Mixer, we were finding a place. My father and my one of my sisters and my brother. So we were going, family to family, just staying, and it's kind of a hard time, but as soon as we got our place, and I sat down and just started streaming on the floor, and went from there. It's just crazy.
I guess hard times like that kind of make you really appreciate when things do settle down and things start to get better. Definitely how far you've come. So I know you were talking about other platforms and sort of like similarities. Mixer was. I mean, I never watched Mixer. I did follow some YouTubers back in the day who mentioned it, but I didn't know what it was either. But like, is there any similarity to platforms these days to Mixer? I mean, like the community was kind of niche and small, but Like, was it the same kind of thing? There's bits, there's subs, and everything like that. And
Yeah. Like there was definitely yeah, yeah. There was subs, and also they had this something called like Embers. Embers was kind of like it was called Embers.
Embers or Sparks
But
or
that was
something like
like
that.
yeah. Sparks, Embers, yeah. And that was kind of like the revenue of like how Twitch is with like biddies and subs. I guess that's how Embers was for Mixer.
I found what I could. I mean, it was hard to track some of the Mixer stats, but I did see that you were pretty like highly ranked with views and followers and stuff. So you did build a pretty big community. And I know looking back on some of your old YouTube and shorts and things, there's a lot of people talking about the PUBG Braalik on Mixer days and how they miss seeing you play that game. So I mean, you probably built a pretty close knit community back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, PUBG was it was really it's probably the honestly best moments of my gaming career for sure was PUBG on Mixer. And simply just because like the respect was crazy. Like I guess like some people still to this day they say like yeah, bro, like, you were my favorite player, you were doing things that like nobody was doing, Apparently I was like there was like a thing on PUBG where you can do like a drive-by, right? Like on like in the vehicle, you could switch seats and shoot somebody out the car. And there's no aim assist on PUBG, so I don't know if you know that, or for console, there's no aim assist. So I think that's why you get like that respect too, is just because like there's no aim assist, like there is on Warzone. So yeah, it was just like I mean that game is just it's just very I feel like it's extremely skill based to a point, right? There's levels to it, just like any other game, but nah, I feel like I did get a lot of respect simply just because some of the stuff I was doing people never they weren't seeing any of that. They were like, how's this guy doing this on console? They actually thought I was like cheating at first, and that's kind of how I got my name out there, to be honest, was because they thought I was cheating on console PUBG. There was a whole Reddit post of they were it's funny because I still have this YouTube video. It's on my other like account. It's not on my Braalik page, but it's a video of me proving like my innocence, like saying I'm legit.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
so, like,
accusations.
yeah. So there was a big Reddit post. Then I couldn't play tournaments at a time. There was a certain point where I couldn't play until I got like until I proved that I was that I was not cheating. So
Wow.
there's this video on YouTube. I gotta find it, but like I recorded. And it's funny because I was at a hotel room at the time, so it made them look even more. It made it look even more like
You looked even more sus.
yeah.
It's not even your setup.
They were like, yeah, exactly. But I literally recorded like a 5-minute video with my phone on my hotspot. Just I have the monitor. I have the 480p monitor, that one Xbox, and I recorded like the back of the console, showing the cores, everything. I showed them. I had to like put like the Xbox cases. I had to stack them so I could position the camera in front of my hands, or the camera behind, and then my hands right here. And then I had to record like that, like them, like showing them how I can shoot and control my recoil.
Wow.
And it just like, it's just crazy because like after that, they were like, wow, this guy is actually not cheating. He's actually the real deal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. So you got to link me that video. I want to see that. That's hilarious.
I got it. Yeah.
Because like some of the early videos they have on your current channel, there are people talking about, is he playing mouse and keyboard on console? Like, how is he doing this on controller? Like, unheard of kind of thing. So when did you get into competing as well on PUBG? Like, did you start streaming because you were competing, or was it just sort of like you fell into it?
Yeah, no. I didn't start off competing, honestly. Just started off just playing. And then the more I played, the more I looked into like the top PUBG players, right, on Mixer, which were the top console players, or who people are watching. I even looked up like PC pro players, right? And how what I was doing was like I started seeing like people coming in and being like, yo, you're actually really good. Like if you're legit, you're really good. And I was like, yeah. And then people were suggesting like you should post these clips. You should record these clips and post them on Twitter. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Or x.com, Twitter. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know. I was like, at the time, I was like, I'm just doing this for fun. I don't know, man. And then I took their advice, right? And I started posting on Twitter, and then the whole PUBG community is like liking my stuff, and they're like, "Yo, who is this guy? Like, what is he doing? Like is he on mouse and keyboard? Like, because I was playing at a high sense, right?
Yeah.
At the time, like it was just different, right? I was just different, and that's what really caught people's eyes. And it's funny because like I think one of the main reasons why my name got out there was because there was a PUBG PC Pro at the time. His name was K-Mine, and he played on Team Liquid at the time. And I actually added him on one of my Twitter clips, and he responded. And I remember that being an emotional night because I was like, no way, this guy, he actually like responded to my tweet. He actually talked about it in his stream too to other people. He's like, yeah, there's actually a clip too. I gotta find that as well of him saying like, he's like, this Braalik guy. He's like, because somebody like brought up like, yo, K-Mine, that's his name. They're like, K-Mine, what do you think about console PUBG? And he was like, yo, he's like, I don't know much, but if you wanna watch PUBG console, go look up Braalik. He's like, go look up Braalik. That's all you gotta know. Look up Braalik. And I was like, wow, that's very good. Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, jumping a bit ahead, I think you did a Phase 5 video. Was that clip in that video? Because I think I saw it.
Yeah, actually, you might be right. Yeah, you're actually very right. Yeah, I think it was.
So what came of that Phase 5 thing? At the time, I think you were on Call of Duty as well, I think.
Yes, I was at Warzone, or I was playing Warzone at the time. Like, or yeah, I was on Warzone. Phase 5, I don't know. I just, I really at that time, like I was really, I'm still am, to this day, I'm still very confident in myself, right? But that was when I was like, you know what, I need to like reach above and beyond, right? So I was like, I feel like I know I have the talent to, showcase and for people to see like, wow, that guy's really good, and what he does has his own unique style. So that was like the main thing, to just trying out Phase 5, and I just felt like it was a good way to really show like my skill and like how creative I can be when it comes to creating content and doing things like people weren't doing. Like I was out there, I almost 1v4 Symphony, Huskers, and Crowder with the K9 holographic, and I was just like, stuff like that. I just want people to see that I can do stuff like that and actually like get it done. So it was just like more of like a confidence thing and motivation thing for myself, just to I hope people to see and see like what I can do.
Did you I know there was different rounds and stuff for that. I didn't really pay much attention back in the day, but did you get far in that?
Honestly, I don't think I made it past the first.
That's all right.
Yeah, but it's all right.
Dude, they get tons of people submitting stuff. So it'd be impossible.
Yeah. But what was it? I did see like Phase Dirty in them. They did like it. A few Phase members did like my video, so
that's cool.
That was enough for me. Yeah. So that was at the time that was enough for me, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. They at least watched it, and so it's pretty cool, man. For me, that was a win, just because. To get recognition, from any respected content creator, board member is just it means everything to me. So
yeah, obviously you're putting a lot of hours into your streams and things like that. Were you balancing work at a full-time job as well, or were like part-time, or were you doing that full-time on Mixer?
Yeah. So Mixer, obviously, when I started on Mixer, I was working numerous jobs, 2 jobs at a time, just because, like I said, like. At the time, we weren't really, we didn't have a place, so I was definitely working multiple jobs before when I started Mixer, right? But then, as soon as I started to get some leeway on my on the Mixer journey, and a lot of people coming in, getting 100 viewers, seeing stuff like that, people donating. Yeah, I definitely from there I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a step into going full time and taking that risk. So, so honestly, I want to say like maybe like a few months after, no, not even that. Maybe like the first year Mixer was on and off with working, but then towards that end of the first year Mixer, I just committed full time, and that from there to here now I am today. It's just been full time.
Wow, was that a scary step? Like, how did you explain that? I mean, you came from a gaming family, so I'm assuming it wouldn't be the weirdest thing to explain. Some people get that conversation. It's awkward. It's weird, but I'm assuming it was was all okay?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for me, it's just like it's a passion, right? Like just playing video games. I love video games. Like even if I wasn't streaming, I could just like if there was no camera, there was no stream, I could literally sit here and play games all day. Because that's how I was. Like when I got the opportunity or chance to, growing up, I would just you can ask my sisters. Like I would be up. Shoot, I would be. I'd be playing till midnight, right, and then getting up at 4 in the morning just to play before school. Like,
yeah, that's
I
passion.
My passion for gaming is just it's nothing. There's nothing that can change how I am about gaming. Nothing. Like I love to game. I love playing video games. Doesn't even have to be what I play professionally today. It's just I love video games, man. It's just.
I love to hear that because there is a. I mean, probably not as much these days, but there was a bit of a stigma maybe 10, 15 years ago that, when you're an adult, you're not playing video games anymore. You got to focus on other things. But I think you got to, I mean, if that's your passion, it's what you love doing. I love playing. I'm 37 years old and, that's what we do. We love it. You got to keep doing what you love. So tell me about Mixer when it came towards the end days, because I know there was sort of a hard time there for a lot of people because it was, they signed deals to stay on Mixer. They were there full time. What ended up happening with Mixer and how did you make that transition to a whole different platform to start all over again?
Yeah, so honestly, it's something, so with Mixer, right, I was really trying to, I guess I'll get into this too. I was really trying to become partner, right, with Mixer. And
what did you need to do for a partner?
So yeah, it was like I'm pretty sure at the time I could be wrong, but it was either 75 or 100 concurrent viewers, right? You would have to have for I don't know if it was like a certain amount of months or like 30 days, but it was something like that along the lines of that. And yeah, so at the time I was holding like over 100, like 100 viewers, around there. I was doing pretty good, but I met the requirements and it was like. I definitely met them, and I think the other one was like just being like how long you've streamed on Mixer, and I think those were the two main ones I remember of what you needed to do or have required to become a Mixer partner. Yeah, I think I tried like at least 3 or 4 times to become Mixer, and I got denied all times. I still don't know why to this day. I still don't know why I got denied. They didn't
explain it. That was just no.
There was no explanation. Yeah. There was just so before Mixer shut down, I was already thinking like, you know what? I might just go try somewhere else. I might go try Twitch, right? And then literally, and then I think a few months after or whatever before Mixer closed, it's crazy because like I was like, wow, Mixer's actually shutting down, but I was already planning to like go to somewhere like Twitch, right? So I guess things happen for a reason, but I just couldn't figure out why I got denied so many times on Mixer, and it's crazy because like I had not close friends, but like friends that on PUBG that got partnered on Mixer, and I didn't. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, like I feel like I have more views than this guy, but he got partnered, and I was just like, I don't know, like couldn't figure it out. I was so confused and. I was, obviously a little angry, that I wasn't getting partnered and other people were, but at the same time, I just told myself like it's okay, like, there's got to be some reason. So whatever that reason is, I got to respect it and just, just look forward. And
I mean, I've heard a few Twitch partner people talk about how they got denied a few times and whatever, and there's not always an explanation either. So it's kind of weird, and I can imagine it would throw you a little bit, like because it gives you that doubt, like, what am I doing? Not wrong, but what do I need to do to get there if I feel like I'm getting there? So that must have been super frustrating. But
yes.
What was the time frame that you knew Mixer was shutting down? Or like, I assumed it was a sudden thing, or was it sort of like over a few months they announced it and then sort of slowly trickled out?
Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of. I remember at the time. There was a lot of there was a lot of I guess I could say drama, right? Like there was a lot of situations that were really negative and bad about Twitch or Mixer partners, right? So there was a lot of drama going on. There was a lot of people coming out saying like, oh, this mixer partner did this and this, and then I was like, whoa, yeah. So I was like, whoa, like mixer. There's a lot of mixers in. Like, what's going on? And then the mixer staff started getting involved, and then next thing I knew, the next couple of days or whatever, they're like, yeah, Microsoft is like, right, I think, or something. They were like, mixer shutting down, something like that. But honestly, at the time, yeah, it was kind of, I guess since I was already like preparing to maybe switch to Twitch. For me, it wasn't nothing like sudden or like I was like, kind of getting nervous about.
Right? Yeah, you weren't left in the cold kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how it happened after I was thinking like I should be, I might go try Twitch. So, like I said, I feel like I do believe in things happen for a reason. So, was it
like kick levels of drama happening where they're getting into crazy stuff, or like
I don't know. Apparently there was like what's it called? Like Mixer had meetups, right? Like PAX.
Yep.
They had these like how we do TwitchCon and all that, at Twitch, and yeah, it was just like stuff like that. Like I don't really know. I can't really remember, but apparently like people were just the Mixer partners weren't who they were. They weren't who they are. Like
on camera, they're different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that. So it was a lot, man. Like. Like you would every day you woke up you saw a new story about somebody. So
right. I mean it's kind of weird timing. I went back and looked at some of the stats of what it was like on Mixer. So in the second quarter of 2020, which was kind of like when COVID was happening, and we're talking like on a 3-month span, there was like 106 million hours watched. And just for context, in 1 month of 2020, there was over 1 billion hours watched on Twitch. So, and I mean, Twitch was going, I think, for longer than Mixer was and had a bit of a reputation, but it's around that 2020 time where you started streaming on Twitch as well. A lot of people started, it was COVID, it was lockdowns and things like that. I mean, you started with Warzone and PUBG. How quickly do you feel like you got some traction on there? Because it was a crazy time in the world.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure when I came to Twitch, I was still playing PUBG, right? So
yeah,
I have to thank the PUBG community for this as well, because like when I came over, slowly I was getting into Warzone, right? But yeah, my PUBG community, the people who were with me on PUBG, they came over on Twitch, showed love, and it felt like I never left, right? I never left it was just just a different platform. But I feel like I woke up every day still doing the same thing, streaming PUBG and as if I was streaming on Mixer, So honestly, like the transition and like the traction I got it wasn't bad. It was a little slow when I did start to switch to Warzone. Like I felt like I was kind of back at that stage where I was like, okay, I need to get my name out there, post content on Twitter and that's exactly what I did. And I posted so many Warzone clips, and it was only a matter of time till someone gave me a chance. And there was Iceman Isaac and 3 people I'll never forget, man. It was Iceman Isaac, even Breadman, and Joel and Exact. Like they were like, those are the 4 names I'll never forget, man. They helped me a lot. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I found you. So I found you through Exact. You played a tournament with Exact, Iceman Isaac, and Breadman. And I thought you and Breadman were a duo. I thought you guys came over together. But like ever since then, you guys started to get to know each other, play together. I know Z and yourself didn't like. He called you you thought you were stream sniping him for a while, but you guys started playing a lot together, man. So tell us about that time. Like, what was that like for you guys?
Yeah, with Exact. Yeah. So yeah, like you probably know, and he's told his community a lot about it, like how he met me. Right, it was like he thought I was stream sniping him, and Z's just Z's always goofing, having fun, and you can't take him serious. The guy is. He's either super sarcastic or it's just how he trolls, man. But Z's honestly like, he's one of the nicest dudes you'll meet, and you already know that. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, because me and Z didn't know each other, right? Till Isaac. I think it was Isaac, and like you said, you saw that tournament with me, Isaac, Exact, and and Bremen. Yeah. And that's kind of how we met and started playing together, right? Because and it's funny because that tournament, it was me and Brett that were the ones. It was a 4v4, 2v2 style. Yeah, me and Brett were the ones who were 2v2ing, and then Isaac and Nazath on the other end. And then I don't know, man. Just from there, like I think I hit up Z or he hit me up. It was the same energy, and we were like, yo, like you want to start playing, start playing some 2v2s or just playing in general, right? And that's what we did, and from there we kind of just grew on each other, and um, you know, just started going from there, and that's kind of what I remember how we met. That's how I remember how we met.
It's funny though, the Warzone scene back in the early Verdansk days and even through Caldera was mainly 2v2s. There wasn't a lot of customs, so you were pretty much duoed with somebody 2v2s rather than playing customs, trios, and quads. So I mean, you and Z started having a lot of tourneys together. You were competing a lot together, and then I think when Twitch Rivals was coming around towards the end of 2021, you guys started a trio with Nicole, and that was a pretty epic ending to the year.
Yeah, that was my first big win on Warzone, man. So I'll never forget that moment, man. Yeah, that was winning that tournament meant so much, man. For all, not just me, but I know for all three of us, because like nobody expected us to win. Nobody, like nobody saw us and we're like, yo, that team is winning today, And it's crazy because I had COVID that tournament too, so I was on my Jordan flu. I was very surprised how well I still played. Being under COVID, but
you guys didn't have a lot of reps together as a team either. You guys were pretty fresh.
No. Fresh, not at all. I mean, me and Z had a little chem, but we were just like, yo, Nicole's won. We see him winning over there on his end. He's doing good. So we didn't honestly like. It was just like it's just another tournament. You just pick up play. Play with each other and see how it goes. But it was crazy how well we clicked, and I think just me and Z being the teammates we are, we're just. We know how to listen to an IGL, and that's what Nicole was. He's amazing IGL. He got us to where we need to be. Got us to get kills, and just get great games off the board to win. So it's just crazy. Like we didn't think we would win, and we did. It's crazy.
I mean, you guys won. You won like a tournament right before the Twitch Rivals. You won the Rivals, and that was pretty sick. That was insane. The community went crazy. If you had to compare, I mean, that was customs as well. If you had to compare what it, like the level of what went into preparing for a online tournament like that compared to like modern day now where you're doing LANs and you're flying out to London and Vegas and stuff, what's the level of preparation? I mean, you guys were kind of figuring it out back then compared to now, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like for me personally, I still think it's the same thing, right? Like I get that people may get nervous, playing at LAN and on stage, right? But that's a given. But I feel like that's still the same at home. Like you still get a little, you still feel that nerve of playing for big money or just, playing at the highest level, even online or at LAN. But yeah, I mean, I can understand both ways. Like I can understand if people get nervous at LAN just because they're not in their comfort zone, they're not at home, they're not at their setup. So like there's a lot more mental prep for playing, at LAN in front of people or just, around other players that you play against online. But yeah, I guess like for me personally, like I don't get like any different, there's no difference in how I think or prep myself, for a big tournament online or on LAN. Like it's just like when all I see is like I'm so used to just being in that competitive nature, and I guess like what how many reps I've had, not just Warzone but PUBG, Gears of War, games I've played in the past. Like it's just like as soon as I'm in that map, or as soon as I'm dropping in, playing right there and then at that moment, like I'm just locked, focused. Like there's nothing else on my mind other than like planning the steps in game and playing my game. So
okay. And I mean, after Verdansk, Caldera dropped, new game, and a few more trios tournaments started happening. You guys started running a lot more with Foreign Jace. How did that all come together? How did you guys meet and start hitting it off as a trio? Because you guys, as a trio, you got a bit unlucky. Even you with Z in a lot of 2v2s. There was a lot of stuff happening. A lot of high-level finishes just couldn't quite get over the line.
Yeah, man. So with Foreign Jace, right? Yeah, so with Jace, Foreign Jace, actually, Jace was like my first ever 2v2 partner. He's that's my day one, man. Like I started getting into the Warzone scene with Foreign Jace. And it's funny how we met because we met through like two other people, right? And we were just playing pubs, and then it was already like off the bat, like the humor started clicking, just laughing with each other, and same thing with him. Like, and Jace was like 16 at the time when I met him, 16 or 15. So I took him under my wing, man. I was like, yo, like you got talent, bro. Like you're young, you can shoot, you have good movement. Just you have the fundamentals to be great at Warzone. And we started playing 2v2s, and like with Jace, like just we won our first 2v2 actually against like great duos like Juki's and FIFA Kill, I think, back at the time. And then Mayapple Otter, we played those guys, won against them, and we started gaining traction. And yeah, so Jace coming into the picture with Z, I told Exact, like I was like, yo, we're probably gonna need a third for some customs, or who do we want to start playing with for customs? And I recommended Jace right off the bat just because I have the most chemistry with Jace, started out with him. And I knew he would be a good fit with me and Z, And like you said, we did get unlucky, definitely didn't, things didn't go the way we wanted to, But I feel like even then, like I feel like if we were to come back to it like today, like I feel like we're all more experienced and more just more calm and more, have more of that nature of like competitive play, probably could do a lot better,
What do you think? I mean, when you look back on it now, and it's probably easier to say in hindsight, but what do you think was missing from that year to make things like really just hit that final couple of wins on some of the tournaments you guys played?
Yeah, so like every single one of us, more than capable of being a winner, right? Like, I think the biggest thing with us three was just like there wasn't like a hard IGL, like. There was no so none of us wanted to take that in-game lead, to talk over and be the leader. So I think that was the biggest thing because like, we're all very extremely nice, very respectful, man. Like, and I also think an issue was like we never really like reviewed each other's gameplay. Like we never talked about like we never did VOD reviews, and stuff like that. Which is crazy because like the best players today they do tape, they review, so like that definitely taught me a lesson too. That's another topic, but like I VOD review like mostly every night now because of that. So that was the biggest thing for us, was just not having a hard IGL, and also just not sitting down and talking to each other like or reviewing the mistakes or what went wrong, because I feel like if we did that, man, wow, like I feel like, oh man, like it's just because you said like we still came close sometimes, even though we played as if like we were doing reviews and reviewing tape and looking at our mistakes, but we did it, which is crazy. So I just feel like if we did that, man, like we would like I feel like the team just would have been just heights and levels above what we were and what we could have done. So.
I was lucky enough to speak to Z about that kind of topic as well, and a lot of it from him came as well from he said it was kind of like being comfortable, and he didn't like looking back on his own gameplay mistakes. Like it would make him feel sick just to see him do something wrong. But was that common? I mean, now we hear all about like SSD doing VOD reviews like hours and hours and hours, and I mean they're levels above everybody right now. But was it common to do anything like that back then? I mean, because it was still kind of new doing all that.
Yeah, so with Hisoka, actually, because I was actually one of the first people Hisoka played with in the big tourneys. I don't know if you know this, but I picked up Foreign Jason Hisoka for it was a swag tournament, right? Yeah, this was back on this was actually back on what's it? I'm pretty sure it was on Caldera. I'm pretty sure. No, actually, it was Verdansk. Sorry, yeah, it was Verdansk. It was like a near the quarry ending, right? Yeah, on Verdansk. I think that's what it was. Unless, anyways, but nah, back then, like I knew Hisoka was gonna be great just because he told me like he VOD reviews every day, or just even back then he was
Back
VOD
then,
reviewing, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he was, and that is the reason why he is at where he is. You know, is because of the VOD reviewing. So I think a lot of people overlook it and mistake themselves by, and like you said, what Z said is like people don't really like to look at their mistakes, and stuff like that. But behind the scenes, people like Soka Shifty and those guys, like they've been and they still are, VOD reviewing. It's honestly the key to getting better because you have to dial down all the mistakes you do in your head, and no matter what, like no matter how angry you get at yourself or just stuff like that, it's always good to watch yourself and just even VOD reviewing others people, just not even doesn't have to be yourself. So I don't, like you said, I don't think it was super common, but there was definitely people doing it, and those people today who are winners, they were doing it back then, versus today. So
I mean, it's a different practice, and we were at the time as a Warzone scene, we're going from 2v2s into customs where, I mean, instead of playing random lobbies, you are playing against the same sort of people over and over, so you do need to get a bit more of a feel for where they land, how they play it, and rotations and all that. But back when you're doing 2v2s, just quickly going back then, there was a controversy of all the hitmen, the stream snipers, the cheaters and all that. I mean, you guys were targeted, you and Z as a duo. You got scammed out of a lot of money a lot of times. Tell us about how that felt back then and how much it affected you.
Man, I still get nightmares, man. It's oh man, yeah. So this is back in the Caldera era, and honestly, who knows? Maybe it was like towards the end of Verdansk, and but yeah. Oh man, it was.
Because I mean, as a viewer, we were watching you guys, and you guys would be steamrolling through, and then all of a sudden, one game, things just change, and like unexpectedly, there's demons everywhere. You're getting stacked on randomly, and I mean, you guys would call it out like, they just play from weird things would happen, and like the first couple of times, as a viewer, you don't really know what's going on, but it became a kind of a pattern.
Yeah. See, and that makes me feel even more better because you see it too, right? Like it didn't make sense. Like none of it made sense, and I was always, man, it's affected me so much because like I'm very passionate, right? And I'm very my biggest like I'm my biggest opponent, right? I'm my biggest like like I'm very hard on myself, right? Very, very, very hard. And I know Z is the same way too. But like it just got to a point where I was like I'm not gonna lie, I was close to like just stop playing like competitively. That's how bad it got. That's how bad it got to me. Like it didn't make any sense. Like I couldn't figure out why I was doing so good, like maybe beginning of the tournament, and then all of a sudden I was like, man, why do I always find the sweats? Why do I always? How am I rotating out here in the middle of nowhere and I still am fighting the best players in the lobby? It didn't make sense. And this is not just one tournament. This is like the 50th tournament.
Yeah.
It got so bad. I told my community, and I was like, you guys, I don't know what to do. And it got bad. I had to run delays no matter what, and even then, it didn't matter. Like I feel like I was still getting stream sniped, and I found out that those stream snipers were actually hacking, so it didn't matter if you had a delay on or not. They had wall hacks to come find you, and they apparently they were stream sniping us for money, for side bets apparently, and people who were like who confirmed this was like Tommy, Tommy and them were actually looking into it, and they actually confirmed that they were looking at it and they're like, yo, this guy's killed Braalik, like he's killed Braalik. They had like Warzone stats or something, right? And Tommy was explaining, he's like, well, yeah, this guy's been in Braalik's games a lot. He's killed Braalik a lot. Like, we see this guy killing Braalik like too many times. And I heard from my community, and they were like, yo, Braalik, like, you were dying to this guy a lot. And I was like, yeah. I remember that guy's name. I recognize him. And then it made me think, like, how many accounts does that guy have, or who else is doing it? And it's like, oh man, I can never like forget how painful that was for me, and how it affected me still to this day. Like, it's just like it just sucks, because like you work so hard, right? You work so hard only to just go out the window, given opportunity. It sucks. But I do believe in just positive thinking, and just I still keep going. You ain't gonna stop me. I'm still doing my thing to this day, man.
Yep.
Like, it's just that's just how I feel about it. So
I mean, aside from the tournament itself, it is the winning. So you were scammed out of a lot of money as well, and I'm sure every little bit counts. It's hundreds and thousands of dollars. I mean, it can go a long way. So I mean, makes a difference for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It does. It's a lot of money, man. It's what I do for a living too. So. Do you think that affected you and Z as a duo? Did you feel like it was not cursed, but like you guys obviously play really well together, but when it came to moving on to the next Warzone 3, did that affect you guys in a way that you couldn't come back from? Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I really think it did, just because. Like you said, I really liked playing with Z. Like, he's honestly like one of the best teammates I've ever had, man. Like, he makes. Well, I was telling a lot of people this. Like, when I'm with Z, I'm able to play like how I want, and like my full potential, right? Like, I can play my game. Like, there's no distractions from my teammate. There's like, I can actually play my game, and no matter what I do, he's still there giving me the best, the best support as a teammate. I'll always say he's like the best teammate. He's the best teammate you can have in general, or just plain and simple. But yeah, I think I think it did affect us for sure. Like, it may be one of the reasons why we are in a duo to this day, but honestly, no. It may have like led me to maybe like suggest like, hey, maybe we do need to try like other teammates, or just just go our way for a little bit, and see how we can do with others, to see if there's a different result. But honestly, now looking back to that, I don't think that was the case. Like, I really do think like the Street Snipers really like got to us, and we were losing so much. It was like, I wouldn't say we weren't losing that much, but the big tourneys we did lose and stuff like that, or just other 2v2s, like it made you think like what are we doing wrong? We were confused, or at least I was. Like, I felt I didn't know what to do. I was so confused. I was like, I feel like we're playing our best, but we're still losing somehow. So,
I mean, there might be an alternate universe out there where there was no snipers, you guys got those wins, and maybe you're still playing to this day. I mean, that's who knows, but this is how things have worked out. And I mean, you got lucky enough. I mean, not lucky. You did put yourself in a position enough to keep competing. And as the Warzone tournaments got bigger, there was LANs, World Series of Warzone. You started getting your name out there and competing with a lot of big names. You did get tossed around a few times in 2023 with that. How did that affect you? And I know you said you prepare the same way, whether it's LAN or in online, but changing teammates a lot is hard work.
Yeah. So last year's World Series of Warzone, compared to this year's World Series of Warzone, I'll say last year was definitely a little harder, right? It was. I was very very emotional last year. Like, I went through a lot of teams, at least like 7 or 8 teams, different teams last year, and just it was gotten to a point where I was like, maybe I just won't play. I won't play World Series. So the mental prepping for last year was very intense. And it got to that point where I was like, yeah, I don't know if I would even want to play, but you know, just the do not give up in me, you know, do not give up saying in my head just kept going and going, and just, you know, I stuck through it. And you know, I feel like a lot of people didn't think I was going to qual last year, you know, with how much I was switching teams and stuff like that. And you know, last year I won the last chance qualifier with the Intex, I believe. Yeah, so I won the last chance qualifier, and you know, got very emotional. You know, I said I was like, keep sleeping on me. You know, yeah, I'm sure people have heard or seen that video. But yeah, man, it's just I think I get like there's so much uh like I have too much passion and too much like I think about all these things right to this day or every tournament I play now, because like I really do feel like I get overlooked and slept on, like I really do, and still to this day I think I still do. I feel like I deserve a team that believes in me like fully and is at the top level, because I know I can win. I've been a champion before, you know. I've won a big tournament against the best players before in Warzone and other games. I know where I am, I know where I stand, and I'm confident. And my confidence is what keeps me going, and that's what makes me pull through. And it's the reason why I was, you know, I feel like I won last chance qualifier. I was just confident in myself. Didn't matter what team I was on, I knew I was gonna pull through, right? And then fast forward to this year's World Series of Warzone, I beat two of my goals. I beat two of my goals, you know, that I had from last year, which was not to go to LCQ, which I did, or I didn't go, no LCQ this year, so that was that goal, and then do better than I did last year, which was, you know, two placements higher this year.
Yeah.
Last year I got 12th. This year I got 10th. So
I feel like, from my point of view, watching you stream the last few years, and I feel like you might have played the most tournaments or wagers than anyone else out there. You are always, it could be a small 4 a.m. switch, it could be a big 50k tournament. You're there, always turning up, and you've obviously got that appetite to keep competing, whether it's for $20, whether it's for $1 million on land. Where do you think that comes from, man? And what keeps you going and keep coming back, whether it's after a setback or after a win? What keeps you that appetite to keep going?
Honestly, I just I think it's just like it's how I've been my whole life. Like not just gaming, but like even with work, and like I'm just I feel like I'm a very honorable and prideful guy. Like no matter what I did in life, right? Whether it's like, you know, for example, like I'm never like, I guess, cheating or you know, not maybe doing the full assignment but like I'm always giving 100%, I guess, at everything I do. And there's no shortcuts is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, no shortcuts in anything. No cheats, no shortcuts. So, you know, I'm always doing things the right way. I've always done that. I've always done that my whole life. So I definitely believe in hard work. I believe in hard work can get you anywhere, you know, as long as you believe in that. So yeah, I'm willing to, you know, play tournaments at 4 a.m. or doesn't matter when, just because I believe in hard work. And just that, having that belief is what makes me, you know, it's what makes me going, and you know, having that appetite. So it's just simple as that. And I've always been like that. So it's always been like that.
Aside from getting the reps of competing, you know, on tournaments every day, does playing in all these different tournaments sort of get you a better feel for who's out there and different names, and even getting your own name out there with people who might not know you?
Yeah. It definitely does. I feel like it's good to just stay competing, whether it's like a big tournament or small. Just because, just simply the fact that, you know, you're still getting your name out there, and you're still getting more recognized. Doesn't matter how small or big, right? Because I feel like the community is all one big circle, right? Everybody knows somebody somehow. So it's always good to just stay true to yourself, show people, you know, that you're who you are, and how, you know, and how you represent yourself. And I feel like, no matter how big or small your name is, like as long as you're giving 100% and letting people know like what you can do and who you are, I feel like it goes a long way. You become rewarded in the end. So
behind the scenes and things like that, when it comes to, I mean, World Series is the end game. It's the goal, right? So how do you get your foot in the door with people who, you know, I mean, Huskers, one of the biggest names in the scene. Are you DMing? Are you just hoping that he sees your results and asks you, like, are you out there hounding people to play, or do you play cool? Like, what's the process of getting involved with some of these, you know, huge names in the scene?
Yeah, so that's always that's always a tricky one, right? Because like I feel like everybody wants to play with their, like the big names, right? Like that's a lot of people's goals is to play with the big names, right? But no, honestly, yeah, this comes to what I was saying. Like, it doesn't matter how big or small, right? As long as you're just playing the way you want to be, represent yourself, and you know, showcasing your skills all the time, I feel like, it does get out and people do take notice. They do recognize, like, wow, that guy's actually good. Like, I've seen him play. I've seen some clips of him. I've seen what he can do in, these customs or these 2v2s. So I feel like that does go a long way. So like when it does come to like maybe DMing, someone like Huskers or a big name in general, they're like, they actually have that respect for you, and you'd be surprised because it's like you would be like, wow, I didn't think this guy would actually want to play with me, but he actually does respect my game. So yeah, so like if you're really trying to, just get into the scene or, play with a big name, like it just you kind of have to let it come to you, and you have to show people that you are, you respect them and they can respect you. It's just you can't really, like, people can tell if you're DMing or just, trying to get away or, take advantage, I guess, in some way. But I feel like as long as you know how to do it the right way and just show people that you are respected and, show them that you are a good player, like it's gonna come regardless. And I just feel like that's how I've always been with all these other guys. Like, if they need me, I'm there, just because they respect my game and they respect me. But at the same time, I do still think, like, there's a lot of ego, man. There's a lot of ego in this scene. So it's just like people want to play. People have their groups. They want to play with. They want to play with certain people, or they're just close with them, and I get it. It makes sense, It's just that's how it always has been, and it's okay,
Yeah. And I mean, for yourself personally, I know that you do tend to carry yourself as best as you can, and you are very respectful and kind to those people, whether they're big or small. So I'm sure something like that is noticed. Where, I mean, a lot of people, they might be small but have a big ego. I think they're too good to play with, or, better than everyone else. And I'm sure that, I mean, for you, does that carry a weight for you when you picking someone who to play with? Do you take all that into consideration, their attitude?
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah. I like to, and I kind of like, I really like to say to myself, right? Like, I don't really go out my way to reach out to anybody to play or to have them acknowledge me, right? So I really just stay in my own lane, and yeah, and I do recommend people to just, like, not really reach out to people, or just, I guess, pester people or have them wanting to play with them or stuff like that. You just gotta stay in your own lane and just represent who you are. And I just feel like it'll come to you. Let it come to you.
Yeah. You also don't want to burn too many bridges. You don't want to go calling people names and stuff if something doesn't go right.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, we know. Well, I've noticed that you are trying to make more of an effort into content and making videos and clips again. You did go on a bit of a hiatus. There is a big gap between uploads for the last couple of years. But what's sort of sparked this interest in reigniting the clips and the content side of things?
Yeah, I'm getting old. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're fine.
No, honestly, it's a regret thing, right? I should have been. I still beat myself about it every day. Like, there should never be a gap. There should never be, a time where you take a biggest. Like, I think I was not doing content for maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Really bad, man. But it's just, and I do regret it because, like, I think it was a lot of it was last year though. Like there was no, I feel like there was nobody that had confidence in me to play World Series. Like I was in a really bad negative space. Like I didn't think I was telling myself, am I not good enough to play with these guys? What's going on? So like I would just commit all my time to just playing tournaments, right? Playing these 4 a.m. switches or stuff like that. And just totally neglecting content, like just waking up trying to play a tournament, not even trying to plan, content or doing any of that. But honestly, like if you're gonna compete and just be a content creator and streamer, like content is just a given. It's just you got to do it. It's how you represent your brand. It's how you get your personality out there. How you get your brand, your view about you, how you play. It's everything. So what sparked me was like I saw a lot. I saw being at World Series and stuff like that, meeting a lot of the the Activision employees and Raven employees and people like that. Like you get these invites, right, to big tournaments simply because they look at it, they look at everything. They look at your content, they look at your views, they look at just all your statistics. So if you want to get to the next level, you have to do content, in my opinion. Like you're going to get invited to events, you're going to become, it's more revenue, more everything. Like it's just a better living style for yourself as a content creator, streamer, right? It's putting the work in, and I do believe in hard work. So that's also another motivation thing to get me to do content, and I want to do it. So
are you doing anything yourself? Because I know you used to work with one of the homies, Slim, but do you have a team around you still, or is it just you working
right now?
away?
No, it's just me and my sister. We've been working together. Yeah, right. Halisi's been helping me a lot. Her name's
shout out Halisi.
Yeah, shout out Halisi. She's been, we've been posting for the last 2 weeks and a half. We've been doing weekly uploads on short form content mainly. Because we're working on the YouTube long form little by little, but short form content is what I told her, like, we really just want to be consistent of. And going into Black Ops, I was like, if we might as well start now, get in the rhythm, get in consistent form. So as soon as Call of Duty drops, like right now it's kind of slow, right? Because there's no Warzone integration. Warzone integration's in a couple weeks, but I told her, I was like, let's get on the ball right now. Or after World Series, we talked about it, and just been uploading content, for 2 weeks and a half now. And, Yep, and I'm more motivated than ever. I'm very confident and I enjoy it. It's not like I want to do it, but I actually enjoy making content. I do. So
I love to hear that, man. Because I mean, look, you pull off some nasty, crazy things in game, and I think the world deserves to see some of this insane stuff that happens on your streams. And I mean, other stuff that happens in your streams. You just mentioned Halisi. I feel like she's a big part, and Lindsay as well. She's always there, and your family, and your wife as well, your partner. Just bringing the vibes in the stream. If no one's been in there before, there is, I think Halisi's responsible for a lot of custom emotes. She's always helping out. And let's give a shout out to the people in there who are always helping you out on stream.
A big shout out. Halisi, my community, a big shout out. People know who they are, who helped me, in any way, shape, or form. You know who you are. Wouldn't be here, man. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for, everybody. Would not be here. I would do anything for these people, man. They know this. Like, it's just, I'm forever grateful. A streamer, what makes a streamer is their community. So you gotta live by that. You gotta believe that. It's just, I love them. Like I said, there's nothing else. I wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be here doing this, what I do every day, if it wasn't for them. So.
And like you just said, the new Call of Duty just dropped, so hopefully we're in for a big year ahead. What are the goals going into the next 12 months, and what are we looking forward to?
Yes, this year is. I told myself, right, for this year's Call of Duty and Black Ops 6 Warzone, is the main focus is content. Like I look back the last 2 years. Excuse me. Yeah, last 2 years. I wasn't really posting anything. It was towards the end of Caldera, I believe. I stopped posting content. And then getting even on Mazra, I think I barely posted anything on Mazra. And then this year as well, like the beginning of this year, still wasn't really posting much. So I think content deserves, a chance again, and that should be the main focus. It will be the main focus. So I'm really just gonna I'll still be playing competitively and playing tournaments when I can. And it's more like I mainly might be playing just like the big events and stuff like that. But regardless, like I make sure I wake up every day just already having a plan for content, just focusing on that. So that is my main goal this year for sure.
Okay.
Aside from competitive gaming,
yeah. I mean, LAN would be another awesome thing. We don't have no idea what's going to happen next year as well. But just quickly, when you have gone to the LANs, what's it like mixing? Rubbing shoulders, mixing with all the other big names, and even like people in the audience. Anyone come up to you and say anything to you?
It's very surreal meeting everybody, for the first time. The people that you play online with, or you're pretty close buddies with, or just it's really cool, man. It's just you get a face behind the gamer, right? And you can really get in, it's just personalities meeting for the first time, right? Like in person. And I think that's a really cool thing because it's like we all share the same passion. We're there for the same thing, and you're already related in that matter because like you share the same thing. You want to win. You want to compete, Yeah. So I think it's really cool to shake hands and meet each other. And especially like this year's this year's World Series was in Vegas. So being in America, it's just you get to see all these people that watch you. And man, the that event was amazing because like I met so many people that watch me, and it's really cool when they come up and be like, "Yo, this is me," and I'm like, "Whoa, like that's you! Like, so good to see you and meet you." Like,
I guess it makes it feel real when you see. I mean, you can see the names on the screens, but once you put the face to the name, it's like, wow, this is it's really a real person. That must be pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, B. Well, listen, man. I thank you so much for taking the time to record the podcast with me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Big fan of everything that you do, and I can't wait to see you lock it in for the next couple of months, years with content and mixing with competing, man. I think you can go far. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Minges. I appreciate you. Thank you.